our streak of excellent movies has come to an end.
It has, sadly.
Yeah.
And abruptly.
Mm-hmm.
Almost painfully.
Boringly. That's what I would sum this up as.
Yeah. I was thinking it could be like a driver's ed crash video, but that's way more exciting.
I mean, that sounds really exciting.
Then what happened? What is to follow is not as exciting as a staged car crash for 16-year-olds.
Mm-hmm. This movie is an example of what you get when you have an intense lack of focus.
It's a lack of focus. It's not, there's no cohesion. And it's also what happens when you get mixed up in the God complex.
Yeah.
Right? The Save the World plot it just sucks. And not that was like the thing all the way through, but stop giving characters all this power, all this knowledge, right?
Yeah.
And then you cut the cord and they're, as dumb as a dry turd because it suits the story. I hate that.
And it's funny because I've been thinking about this a little bit. It's that, so we watch anime.
Yes.
Not an extraordinary amount of anime, but enough, right? And let's be fair, animes are not usually known for their super strong storylines.
They're not in most cases.
Right. But we forgive them because they make up for it with other things.
Yeah.
And the one that we're currently watching, I was just recently kind of blown away by some of the storyline that they put into it. And it wasn't necessarily in contrast to this. But it did sort of make this just like shrivel up and dry, sadly, in comparison.
This was a rare case where it was a really good story with good storytelling, the anime.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we, like I said, we love anime.
Yeah.
But, anyone who's going to argue that they're all super rock solid stories,
super coherent,
without contradiction or, pop up surprises because it seems like, well, this couldn't have gone anywhere until we get this new thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, what can I say? We can't even pretend to be like, hey, something's coming. Come and listen to us talk about it. And then, surprise them with what's to come. It's just so soul sucking.
Well, but I think
have to warn them.
I think there are some lessons to be learned from this movie.
There are. We cover quite a few, not the least of which is the God power thing. Too much power for a character. Everything has to have a counter. Everything has to have a price. Everything has to, step. You give someone all this knowledge and ability to do stuff, there's got to be a barrier and they have to be able to overcome that. And I got to say, hand it to the writers, though. No plot, confusing story, contradictory setup didn't fucking stop them from going page after page.
Hell no.
Till they got 113 pages and said, let's shoot this bitch.
You want a good story? Don't look here.
Yeah. Well, I think we have jazzed everyone up enough.
Yeah. Let's get excited about this.
All right, B-siders. I almost feel like saying, I'm sorry we're doing this to you, but here it comes.
Let's do it.
We're off. Hey, B-siders. Welcome to another episode of Bravo for the B-side. This is Jim.
And this is Danny.
And we are here to talk about yet another movie this week. Back to horror.
It's hard to stay away from horror.
Well, it is. I mean,
yeah, our options this week were horror, 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 or horror. So
we could have done some other stuff, but
well,
it is what it is. So we got another horror movie.
I mean, I love horror, so.
Well, yeah, that's, sort of the wheelhouse.
That's the thing.
All the weird movies, most of them just happen to be horror.
Yeah.
Well, before we begin, we have had, earlier this week, we were guests on the Disc Dump podcast.
Yeah. Miles is awesome.
Miles Trout. By the time you hear this, that episode will have aired. So I suggest you go check out Miles's podcast, The Disc Dump.
Yeah.
DISC.
Right.
Well, because, there's a lot of contention. Is it disc with a C or disc with a K?
Well, it's obviously with a C, and anyone who thinks it's with a K is objectively wrong.
It's kind of what I thought. But anyway, just making it clear. Miles is really cool. We've had some back and forths, through social media and stuff. And just saw today's August 9th, that we're recording. Miles is studio flooded.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I haven't heard back on if things got damaged or if it was just like, water on the floor and you got to take care of it. Not like, 3 feet of water, hopefully. So he said his episode will be a couple days late. But again, by the time you folks are hearing this, it will have been out.
Yeah.
So go back. The movie that we were on his show about was Gentlemen Broncos.
That was super fun.
And we will probably do an episode on that.
Oh, sure.
Later on. But, it's not cool to... Someone has you on to talk about a movie and then you do the movie. So we'll wait a little while because we still have a bunch of stuff coming up.
Oh my gosh, we have such a long list.
But that is a fun movie. And we had so much fun with Miles.
Mm-hmm.
Really great. So yeah, check out his podcast and, listen to us go on about stuff. We get into all kinds of stuff too.
Oh yeah.
D&D and just...
nerd stuff.
Yeah, nerd stuff. And, it's kind of fun to talk about a movie and not...
science fiction.
Not dissect it.
It is.
Right?
I know.
We didn't have to take notes on it.
Yeah. So, listeners, we got to watch this movie and we got to eat snacks and drink soda instead of taking notes, which was super fun.
I know. It's been so long.
Mm-hmm.
We're usually, okay, cracking the knuckles. Let's go.
Yeah. And then, the...
Yep. Oh, you got the little one.
I do have the short one.
Yeah, mine's 13 seconds.
I need to update my soundboard, though. I'm
saying that. You were going to do it today.
I know, but then I wanted to do nothing.
You were hunting for a skunk on Red Dead.
Yeah, I was. I didn't find it either.
Stuff was done.
If anyone knows where to find a perfect skunk on Red Dead Redemption 2, let me know.
Well, you've been to all the areas.
I know.
It's just the game, it knows when you're looking for something. And then it becomes super scarce.
I know.
Right? How many raccoons have you seen? How many opossums?
Badgers.
Badgers.
I can find 1-star ones and 2-star ones, but I can't find a 3-star one, man.
It'll happen.
Maybe.
Told you, I was committing genocide on skunks when I was on that mission.
It's outrageous.
I was thinking dozens of just, skins.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, one day, cha-ching, perfect carcass. Sweet. Patience, my dear.
Yeah, you know me. I don't have that.
All right. So this week.
Yes.
We have.
You want me to talk about it?
Not yet. We have a horror movie that's been on the list for a little while. And it came up because I put it on the list because I think it was on Instagram. Somebody had messaged us and mentioned Blood Hunters and said, all right, we'll put it on the list. Sure. And we did. And we finally got to it. It's been bumped because of the interviews and
other stuff.
Yeah. And, yeah, so here we are. Why don't you tell us about this monster, and then we'll get into it.
I would be happy to. So this movie is called Blood Hunters. Fun fact, it was originally titled One Drop.
Yes.
It was made in 2016, directed by Trisha Lee, written by Corey Brown, starring Laura Gilchrist, Benjamin Arthur, and Tori Higginson. It was rated MA. We could not find a budget on this. It is a Gravitas Ventures movie, and typically, I mean, like Asylum, they don't typically publish their budget numbers.
It's not easy to get budget info from them, no.
The plot line, short and sweet. This is what was on IMDb. So, follows a single mother who wakes up in a medical facility to find that everyone is dead and she's 9 months pregnant.
Boom.
Technically accurate?
It's simplistic. It doesn't get into, log lines don't always have to cover the whole thing.
Right.
I mean, that's kind of what happens beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And then things happen after that,
True. You're going to run out of that. You're going to have to run and get some more.
Nope, I'll be fine.
All right.
Drinking ginger beer instead of coffee. Because tonight didn't want to have coffee. Had some Italian meat sandwiches.
Hot peppers.
Super hot peppers. And, I just thought a belly full of acid on top of that probably isn't the cool thing. Plus, I wanted something cold. And I love this ginger beer. It's a treat. You trying to be quiet?
It's noisy.
Oh, well, doesn't matter. All right. So that's the movie.
Yeah.
Why don't you bring us into it?
Okie dokie. So the very first scene is someone cooking up some heroin. So right off the bat, I'm like, well, I don't know if there's ever been a bad movie that starts with heroin. So then there's some woman stumbling out of a house. Her arm is bleeding. She collapses on the sidewalk. And we have the intro credits. There's like shots of blood puddles, medical equipment, pill bottles, a baby scale, just all kinds of like medical stuff. And they're pretty well framed, these shots.
Yeah. I mean,
it gets a tone across.
It does.
The music, I don't remember what it was. I remember there was music, but I don't remember what it was. So not memorable.
No. It was house band music.
Yeah.
It wasn't any great, no licensing fees were paid.
Right. So we're back to that same woman who had stumbled out of the house, and she's waking up in what looks like a medical room, a surgical room.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe in a hospital. She's strapped to a gurney, and next to her in a chair is like a body.
Yeah.
Slumped over. There's some gore. There's like stuff coming out of his stomach.
It looked like foam.
It
on my notes, I'm like, he's got foam, bloody foam.
A little bit like roe.
Yeah.
Like fish roe.
Yeah.
Coming out.
Kind of weird.
It was a little weird. So she's kind of freaking out. She manages to grab a scalpel that's on the table next to her little tray and uses it to free herself. And she's pregnant, like really pregnant.
Yep.
And apparently this is a shock to her. This is news.
Yes.
So something pretty gruesome happened in this hospital.
There's some, but like behind the guy, there's blood splatter too. Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
And then there's
the room is in disarray.
Yeah.
The lights are kind of flickery.
Right.
There's kind of like it's real silent in the hospital. So this dead guy that's next to her is not dead. I initially, when we're watching it and it kind of pans over him and he's visibly breathing, I was like, pretty sure that's not supposed to happen because he's dead.
Couldn't even get one take, Fred. Just one take. Couldn't hold your breath.
Right.
For 7 seconds as we pan by.
Yeah.
Right.
But oh no, he's alive, so that was supposed to happen.
Yes. Well, it's hard to tell in these films.
It can be hard to tell. Well, he's kind of alive.
Yeah.
And she starts questioning him because she wants out of the room, and she's tried the door code.
Yeah,
there's
as a key,
a coded lock.
Door pad, yeah.
Yeah.
Keypad.
And she's tried it, and it isn't working. And she starts questioning him, trying to get the code out of him. And he's trying to mumble about something. So she's trying to figure out what it is he wants.
I think he was trying to barter.
Right.
Like, he wanted pills. He wanted some.
Yeah, I was getting to it.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
What's not in your notes?
Well, I know. I don't write down everything. I don't write down verbatim everything I say. You goof. So, yeah, there's some painkillers on the counter, and she figures out, oh, that's what you want, and so she gets the code out of him, acting like she's going to give him the pills, but he dies basically as soon as he gives her the code.
Right.
So he doesn't need him anymore, but she pockets him.
Yeah, she lays claim to them. Mm-hmm. Weird look on her face too, like. So, the pregnant lady grabs the scalpel up, goes to open the door.
Smart move.
Well, I mean, yeah. If you wake up with somebody who looks like they've been eviscerated and they got fish eggs coming out of them and blood splatters on the wall, it's semi-dark and flickering. I'm thinking you don't want to go out there with nothing.
Right.
So she has the scalpel in hand. The hallway, it's dark. There's no one to be seen, and it's quiet. So she starts calling out softly. We hear the backup generator announcement again. We heard it before. It was tough to hear.
Yeah.
But it's this recorded voice, backup generator remaining power. I think we're at 35%
or something.
35%. Yeah. So it's reminding her and more clearly letting us know, okay, this facility's on backup power.
Right.
All right. Makes sense. So she moves through the halls. And we have a jump scare sound effect as something starts to suddenly buzz loudly. And the backup lights are dim and flickering. Another dead body in the hallway. And then there's more. She goes to some double doors and starts to pound and yell for help. So she's it's a long shot.
Right.
So she's like,
on the
way back.
far end of the hallway.
And in the foreground, something zips past the screen.
Right.
Now, to be fair,
it's kind of crawl running.
Yeah. It's in the trailer. Mm-hmm. So we already expected it, but I'm just going to say, didn't work. In fact, here, let me do this. Didn't scare me in either case. It was too long, even in the trailer. It's too long of a shot.
Yeah.
It's too obvious of a setup. The thing goes by the screen. You're like, oh, there it is.
Right.
All right. So she stops and turns around because clearly she heard it, as they always do, or sensed it. And then she goes back to see what it was. There's some weird sounds and then a stream of blood. So the camera is on the floor. We see the corner, right? Mm-hmm. So on the right-hand side, we see where the hallway ends and then turns to the right. We see her foot. And from the cross hall, all of a sudden, a stream of blood comes near to her feet. She runs. Good call. She enters a room. It's full of dead people. And it looks like they're all doctors or nurses or both.
Right.
Everyone's got IDs and coats and scrubs and stuff. So, I don't know. They were all staff, clearly. One of them has a cell phone that has an alarm going off, like a reminder. So pregnant lady takes it. And of course, there's no signal. So we had the
Oh yeah, she's like waving it up in the air.
Can you hear me now? It's up above my hand's above my head, and that.
Trying to get a bar.
Either trying to get a signal, or you're at a rock concert doing your phone as a lighter, swaying it back and forth. No signal. And then she sees two dead bodies on gurneys, a man and a woman. And this is funny. Now, a lot of times in these kinds of films, gravitas is a little bit different, but like Asylum, rarely do you see nudity.
Right.
This was like the stock boob shot. So there's a corpse of two corpses, man and woman. Both of them only have a sheet up to their waist.
Yes.
So obviously the woman's topless.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was a uncomfortably, unnecessarily long shot of corpse boobs.
Yeah.
But I guess that was, they satisfied their requirement for whatever market.
I don't know. I think if you're going to have boobs in a movie, they should be live ones.
Well, I would think that would be the way to go. But I guess.
Why bother if they're dead?
Stepping away from this for a second, I can't say this as a fact, but I'm going to give this my educated guess. Mm-hmm. And I want to put $1 on it. When you bring people into a film to play an extra like Corpse A or Corpse B or Corpse 5, right? You're not getting people who have a lot of bargaining power in their contract. So you can say, okay, we need an extra and it's corpse number 5 and your tits are going to be out. Someone's going to say, okay. Yeah. You got 10 people coming for the part. At least one of them's going to be like, all right, fine. Cause they're only getting who knows how much. I don't even know if they pay rate for these.
I don't know.
It's hard to say. So even at rate, it's not a lot of money. It's not going to cover rent,
right?
For that one bit. But when you get people who have actual lines and more than 10 minutes in the movie, it's a little bit harder to convince them. Okay, we need to have you running down the hall, tits out. No real reason. We just need them on screen.
It's a box we need to tick.
Yep, for X amount of time, so this thing can sail in again whatever market.
So we can say it has nudity.
Yeah. So it didn't escape me that, they were ticking a box with that weird way of doing it.
And that seemed to be kind of a theme as we got further into this movie, where a lot of the things were just like ticking a box for the sake of ticking a box. Yeah. And not really to serve to drive the story forward in any meaningful way.
No, let's not spoil it. I've got some things to say about some things that happened.
So anyway, looking at these corpses, apparently, I don't know, if she looks at her wrist and there's a tattoo and it says Hunter and she flashes back to her son, Hunter. Not a great transition to this. No.
Just so weird. I'm panicking and this and that, so I'm going to look at my tattoos. Yeah. And then remember them fondly. Yeah, it was not good.
And it's this super typical, like, breakfast, the kid's eating breakfast and she's harsh with him because he lost his cell phone or some dumb stuff. She's unnecessarily harsh with him. And the flashback ends and she feels terrible about it.
Right. Bad mom.
Yeah. And then, she takes some of the painkillers that she was going to give the guy who died earlier. Mm-hmm. Mom of the year. Aren't you pregnant? And some sounds come over the PA system. I think at this point it was some like weird crackly sound. It wasn't the generator time remaining. But I didn't specify what kind of sound. So anyway, she goes back into the hallway and the thing is creeping in the hallway again. Yes. And it's not scary. They're all done in ways that have like been done to death.
Well, they've all been done in to me the worst ways that have been done to death. There are ways to use a camera to introduce something, in these cases, a creature,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's scary, suspenseful, tense, unexpected, or, you know, hyping the expectation to the point where it's like any second. And almost every person who experiences that is never ready after that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, here it comes. Well, it's coming. See, then you start wearing down your wall. Bam!
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
Didn't happen here.
No.
No.
And she's taken some clothes from one of the bodies.
Right.
Instead of her surgical gown.
Right.
And they're like covered in blood.
Yeah. Well,
That's,
you know.
Got classy. I think I would have probably just kept wearing the surgical gown. At this point, I don't care if anyone sees my ass hanging out.
See, I'm going to go the other way with that. I would definitely put on somebody's brain-soaked, blood-soaked clothing rather than wake up in this environment and then face it with my ass hanging out. Because I got to say, if I'm going to not make it out of here, if I'm going down, it's ass covered. That's my thing.
I don't know.
You know, little bit of dignity.
I just think, I mean, unless I was like butt naked, I don't think that clothes would be my main concern.
I don't know that a gown doesn't count as butt naked. That's just, it's not even like a Snuggie.
Hmm.
It's a thin piece of material with really just some sort of tie thing here, there. Never in a way to cover your ass, though.
Well, my thought on this whole situation was classy. She just continues to keep being classy. I don't think very highly of this woman.
No, you don't.
No.
It's fine.
So she hears someone calling out. It's a person. And it's kind of, hello? Is anybody there? So she follows the voice, and it's a guy strapped to a table. And he's really confused.
Mm-hmm.
And he's in a quarantine bubble.
Right.
And he's asking her to, you know, like, help him get out. And she's nervous about freeing him because she's like, I mean, you're in a quarantine bubble. You're probably in there for a reason. You know.
Yeah. And I kind of got that.
Well.
But my immediate response to her thing in my head was, look at the situation that you're in. I'm pretty sure whatever he's got going on in his bubble world is the very last thing you should be worrying about.
Yeah.
Because this room's got full of ex-employees, as it were, also.
Right.
With the appropriate amount of splatter everywhere.
It doesn't look like he's the thing that caused all this.
Well, no, and he's strapped like she was, leather restraints.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he's trying to talk her into it. So they introduce themselves. They're Henry and Ellie.
Right.
And, you know, he keeps asking her to unstrap him. And then they hear some of the creature noises.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Ellie like scoots into the quarantine bubble with him. Because she'd rather be in there.
Right.
And it's kind of hard to see the creature through there's like a curtain kind of screen. I don't know exactly what exactly.
No, it was the plastic of the quarantine bubble that it pushed its face up against.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, except that was clear and it was opaque when it was pressing its face up against it.
If you're going to start quibbling consistency with in low budget films, why are we even doing this?
So, but the lights seem to scare it in this quarantine bubble. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the light gets bumped and it's shined at it and it runs away.
Yeah. Yeah. That's more on that later.
So she frees Henry because at this point, you know, why not? And after the thing gets scared away, the baby moves real freakily in her stomach.
Yes. You know what it reminded me of now that I think about it? It reminded me of Gremlins.
Yeah.
When Gizmo got wet. And just before it started actually bubbling and smoking and, you know, the bowels pop. But yeah, that undulation. Yeah. That's what it reminds me of when I think about it. Yeah. Only his was cuter. This was just...
No, it's
Creepy.
hard to top Gizmo for cuteness. He's pretty cute.
Well, to be fair, this wasn't meant to be cute.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it achieved the goal of that's nasty.
Yeah.
Something bad's going on in there.
Mm-hmm. And then Henry gets some sort of flashback to Ellie collapsing at the beginning of the movie.
Right.
He like touches her.
Yeah.
And then he grabs the shirt because he needs to get dressed in, I guess, dead people's clothes too.
Well, he doesn't even have a gown.
Right.
He was using the sheet
yeah.
that was covering half of him.
And as he grabs the shirt, he gets another flashback of someone with a gun, and he looks over, and there's a dead guy with a gunshot wound next to him.
Right.
So I'm like, so maybe he can see people's past traumatic events?
Right. Well, it was a point of view. It was from the perspective of, so it was like first person of the person who got shot.
Right.
Right. So
yeah.
then let it to be that guy. So now that he's dressed, he and Ellie hit the halls. And then over the PA system, we have a woman's voice. It's not great sound, so it was kind of hard to make out the message. But it's not the generator thing.
No,
she's addressing
it's a person.
Yeah. So we know there's someone who is alive. No matter on that, because Ellie's water just broke. Timing. Henry tries the PA, and then he talks to the woman. When he tells the lady that they aren't doctors, she goes quiet for a long time.
Yeah.
This is like almost a solid minute. Just
to the
silent.
point where you're like, okay, she's just going to abandon them, I guess.
Right? Did she go? Whatever. Are you gonna, how much longer are you going to stand there, Slick?
Right.
And then, there she is.
Mm-hmm.
She apparently thought through her situation.
Right.
and made her choice. We, however, were not privy to any of that. We just get to see Henry staring at the PA expectantly.
Right.
And I mean, that is literally the action, folks. It's almost a solid minute of staring.
Henry's a little bit of a gomer.
He's not an action guy.
No.
Clearly. Anyway, when she comes back, she says they need to meet her at the exit. And I love that. Meet me at the exit. She does give them directions. They have her, because that's one of, I think, the better lines is him saying, well, we don't work here. I don't know what, we woke up here.
Where?
Yeah. So she gives them directions to get to the exit. Says to grab whatever light they can, quote, it's the only thing that hurts them, unquote. And Ellie can't move, so Henry is going to go, and then he's going to return for her. So, of course, Ellie pops some pills. She's sitting at a desk, looks over some papers. One has a note that says, entered cocoon phase. It's going to be a spoiler, but I want to address this. Because now that I've wasted my time writing it down and I've wasted my time saying it on the podcast, we never fucking address the cocoon phase ever. This literally fucking means nothing.
Right.
In through the rest of the film.
Doesn't matter. You think it's important to the story. It isn't.
Well, I spend brain power latching onto shit like that because the whole thought is if it doesn't need to be on screen, don't put it on screen. Mm-hmm. Show the audience what they need to see and nothing more, nothing less. That's what makes a good movie, Yeah. So entered cocoon phase. Ooh. So this is going to be a little more something. It wasn't, fuckers. Mm-hmm. So she's sitting there and in the foreground, we see a strange arm cross in front of the camera. Mm-hmm. And then there's a noise. Right? And it looks like it came from a corner of the room that has some small animal cages, lab rats probably. So anyway, she's freaking out. And the door opens behind her. Bam, it's Henry. Ooh.
Yeah.
So then we cut. Ellie is now in a wheelchair.
Which is apparently what Henry went to get, although they never bothered explaining that.
No.
I was like, why the fuck is he leaving?
None of his lines had anything to do with I'm going to get you a mode of transportation.
Right.
So that so you don't have to walk, and then I'll be right back. Sound like he was going to go meet this woman at the exit.
Yeah.
Right. And then come back and grab her.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I thought was going to happen. So
which I was like, why is he doing that? I was really confused as to why he left.
Right.
And they came back with a wheelchair, and I'm like, oh, that would have been good to know.
So.
Sorry.
It's okay. No, she's now in a wheelchair, and they're bolting through the halls. They end up at an exit, but it has bars. It's a barred gate.
Yeah.
Right. There's a beach and wide open ocean beyond it. And then there's a woman there, presumably PA woman. She's trying to get this. So anyway, she's dicking around with the wiring and stuff, saying she's trying to get the system to believe that the fire alarm went off so that the gates would go up.
Right.
It didn't work.
Okay. I want to add something here.
Please do.
So this door isn't really a door. It's just bars.
Right.
Beyond it, like you said, beach, wide open ocean. It's like high noon. It's bright daylight outside.
Mm-hmm.
And this woman is talking about how they are so deep underground right now.
Yeah.
And I was like, doesn't look like it.
No. Well, you get that the facility's underground after a while, right?
Right.
But here's the thing. Nobody took stairs.
Right.
Right? Because Ellie's in a wheelchair.
There's no elevator.
No elevator use. Right?
Right.
You're correct. Now. Okay. Anyway, we'll get to that. I mean, I guess jumping ahead, there's a wider shot of the door, and it looks like it's like at the bottom of a hill that's maybe 100 feet tall,
right?
75 feet tall,
maybe.
If it went way back under that hill, I guess technically it's underground, but that's not so deep. That's just misrepresenting.
Right. I mean, she went out of her way to say that they were like make it sound like they were miles underground.
Right.
And they clearly were not.
Well, after that little bit of information, there was a whole lot of tidbits that were just thrown out. So here's what I got out of it, because most of it was just extraneous bullshit. So far, here's what happened. There was a power outage last night for 10 minutes. For 10 minutes, there was no light, and those things, as she called them, killed everyone. In 10 minutes, this entire facility, hundreds of people, were wiped out by those things. Don't know how many.
Right.
Right. And then we find out this woman is a systems programmer. She programs the systems that they use. And and she knows nothing about what's going on. And the dialogue with programmer lady, as she has been now dubbed, is really terrible. I have some things to say about this later, but fuck's sake. So now all of a sudden we're in the living quarters.
Well, it was actually the chapel.
Well, it's but it's in the living quarters.
Oh, sure.
She said that's where we have to go. So there's whole sections of this place. There's the living quarters. There's the whatever, and later on the deeper basement stuff.
Sure.
Which we still don't see stairs or elevators.
Yeah.
They just programmer lady sure knows her way around. This bugged me. Okay. Now, she might be like the only tech person. She might have programmed the systems that they use. She might have programmed the software that they use on the computers. She's running everything. So let me say, number one, sci-fi tropes, IT tropes / computer programmer tropes. One thing you need to do when you're making your film is not fucking do any of them, because they're all so wrong and so irritating and boring and obvious, right? This woman knows every inch of this facility. Even if she's the systems designer, she wouldn't know every inch of the facility because there's, believe it or not, a lot of things in highly technical buildings that have nothing to fucking do with a programmer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she does not need to see the layout of my apartment. She just needs to make sure the fucking cable is run to where it needs to go. Or if it's Wi-Fi, the router's where it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Oh my God. She was getting on the edge of my nerves.
She's also just a bitch.
Oh, she is. She's not even like, you know, adorably cranky. She's just a bitch.
Yeah.
So anyway, programmer lady is using her magic laptop to give them power. That's what I got out of her fucking conversation. Anyway, while that horse shit's going on, Ellie notices that the candlelit room is lit with candles that were just lit.
Right. Which I'm glad that they addressed that, because when they walked into that room, I was like, well, who the hell lit all those candles?
Right. Yeah. And they're brand new.
Yeah.
They haven't burned down even like a quarter of an inch.
Right.
Very noticeable. So kudos.
Yeah.
They got that part right. Henry goes out looking for whatever. And here's a voice. Programmer lady says they'll be dead in a second if one of those things has them. I was like, huh? I wasn't clear on what transpired.
Right.
In that whole thing. And I'm going to be honest. I didn't fucking care enough to go back and see if I could figure it out. So anyway, Henry ultimately goes off and follows the voice.
Right. So he ends up finding 2 more people, and he gets another flashback.
Mm-hmm.
And this is of, there's a priest, and he's like drowning someone or trying to drown someone.
Yeah. It's first person perspective.
Right.
Of someone trying to drown that person, and that someone's a priest. Yeah.
Right. So one of the people he finds is a priest. It's not the same one from the flashback that we saw in the flashback. And the other one is bleeding. His hand has been lobbed off. And like the bones are sticking out.
I love that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's got his stump.
Mm-hmm.
And that looks, these 2 bones coming in the middle out of it. A good 3 inches. Right? I mean, that.
Oh, that's like 2, but yeah,
2.
An inch or 2. Like a
no,
solid
further
amount.
than that, because my thought was he looked like something out of Star Wars. I expect him to run over to a wall and plug himself in.
I noticed in this scene that Henry has scars on his wrists.
Yeah.
And they're obviously suicidal scars.
Right.
Not really sure what these guys in here were trying to do with matches and a stove. It seemed kind of like, I guess they were trying to light the stove to cauterize the guy's stump.
The stove is a gas stove.
Uh-huh.
So technically speaking, they could fire it up with matches, right? Light the gas. Heat. I guess they were going to heat the griddle, not the griddle. It was
like a grill.
Yeah, it was a grill top. Yeah, to cauterize his wound, which is really difficult to do when you have giant pieces of bone sticking out.
Well, it's a how do I say it? It's an open like grill top, so there's the bars.
Right.
Right.
Well, yeah, it's just my first thought was, well, it's going to be kind of difficult, but yeah keep going, because what happens is kind of funny.
So his stump ends up getting stuck to the grill. Because he holds it on, and then Henry's like, oh, I think it's done, and tries to pull it off, and the guy's like, no, and holds it on a little longer, and then his flesh gets stuck to it.
Seared to the grill.
And so Henry grabs a spatula to like pry it off. And then
It was just so ridiculous.
It was ridiculous. And then for some reason they can't go back the way Henry came, so they need to go another way.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I don't know.
But sure.
And then now for some reason the lights need to go out for 30 seconds.
Oh, because programmer lady and her magic laptop is fiddle fucking around with something.
Right.
And
but
it can't
she doesn't
wait,
say
apparently.
what.
No.
And we have no idea why. So we get a good view of one of the creatures, and it's pretty weird and lame. It's not very scary.
No.
Because it like comes up at them in the darkness. So you get a very like good close up of the face. And this is the moment in the movie where it's supposed to be the like big creature reveal.
Right.
And it just falls super flat because these things aren't very scary. They're just sort of weird looking.
Well, initially in my notes, I captioned my disappointment with a description. At that first glance, it looked like a flesh-colored gimp mask.
Yeah.
I was nonplussed, as you say. It was a bit of a letdown.
So they end up getting back to the chapel, and Stumpy, as I call him, is really knowledgeable apparently about what's going on with Ellie's unborn child. Because he was an intern.
Right.
There. But he's not super chatty about what it is. Like, he doesn't want to tell her what's going on with it or why she's suddenly super pregnant.
I'm sorry. The whole concept of an intern tickled me. This is obviously some super secret, private or government funded thing, and they have fucking interns. Anyway.
It's outrageous. So it ends up coming out. They impregnated her with one of the creatures. Not really a surprise.
No, they didn't. They didn't impregnate her.
Go on.
Well, because we get the thing, right? About people who die and come back. The men come back okay, I guess, and the women come back with a hitchhiker.
Oh.
They come back from the dead pregnant.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
Yeah.
So now with these blood hunting creatures all around them closing in, and they don't have a whole lot of light left in the generator, they're just going to do a C-section on her. So this is the dumbest group of people I've ever seen in a horror movie. Marion, who is the bitchy programmer, and the priest are going to get drugs for it, while Stumpy and Henry are going to cut open Ellie. Really?
Well, Henry is, because Stumpy, apparently, that was his right hand.
Right.
He's a righty, so he can't cut her open with his left hand. Even though he's medically trained for this, he says.
Yeah.
Right? So Henry, whose hands, they have him hold his hand out and it's steady.
Mm-hmm. That
apparently is the ticket.
Yeah.
It's the thing that you're looking for. No. That was one of the dumbest things, aside from the dumb people.
Oh, so while Marion and the priest are out in the hall, not in a real hurry, apparently.
No, the sense of urgency has vanished several times already at this point.
Yeah. Marion's like checking dead people's key cards to see if one can get them out. There are different levels of access with the key cards. So she's trying to find one.
Yeah, only the highest security level can open the front door.
She says there's only like 5 people in the building with that card. And at this point, I'm like, I bet the priest, who, why are they always weird and fucked up in movies like this?
Oh, it pisses me off.
Why can't there just be like a normal... It's such a tired trope.
It is, and here's the thing. In 99% of the cases, unless the movie is about a priest, there's no need to put a fucking priest in. You know, I want to seriously throw punch or ball kick everybody who's ever put a priest in their fucking movies, horror or otherwise, because they most of the time just don't fucking belong. And it's just like an easy dart throw target to mock and shit. And, you know, it's like, well, if that's what you really think it's all about, I really would. It does. It incenses me. Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, and
this guy's like a real tool.
Well, it's really poorly done, like most of them, you know.
Yeah. But at this point, I'm like, because he gives her a weird look, and I'm like, I bet he has one, but he won't give it up for some stupid reason. So then we're back with Henry and Ellie, who are talking. No one cares. The guy playing Henry is actually a pretty good actor, though. Like, they're talking a lot, and nothing of what they're saying matters. They're bonding about how she is a druggie, and he tried to kill himself, and yada yada.
But he does deliver well.
He does.
I mean, the lines are shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, he does facially, expressively. And, yeah.
Yeah, he's really good. So then we're back with Marion and the priest, and they're talking in the bedroom. And again, no one cares what they're talking about.
There's so many points we both just, I don't fucking care. We just skipped whole sections.
I know. And Marion says she has something to confess. And it's that she let out the creatures.
Yeah.
Like on purpose.
Yeah.
Because she thought she was being like an animal rights activist or something stupid.
Yeah.
She's dumb. So then she finds a body in there, and that inspires her to try and recode some of the cards to get through the front gate. You know, not like they have an important mission to fulfill or anything, getting drugs for this woman who's about to be cut open. And then in her attempt to recode the cards, which is, I know you have a lot of feelings about this.
Coming up.
Dumbass turns off the lights again.
Yeah.
And this would actually be a good movie if anything actually made sense. Like the premise is like, it's a good idea.
It's a fairly good idea. But to this point, everything is so disjointed and so haphazardly sewn together, right? It's like sewing leather to silk, you know, with you know, 1/2 inch thick canvas thread. Mm-hmm. What the fuck? None of that belongs in the same room together. All these bits and
it's all just really weird and uninspired and frankly kind of boring.
It's indicative of one of the movies where either the one person who wrote it just like, you know, can't think of a story, but just thinks up random shit that happens. So they just put it in.
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay, well, let's put it in this order. And then the rest will take care of itself. We'll fix it in post.
So they get attacked in the room by a creature because the lights are off. And the priest just leaves her there.
Honestly, can't blame him.
I mean, yeah.
She's a pill.
She is a pill. But you know what? For having caused all this in 10 minutes, supposedly over a blackout the night before.
Having wiped out this whole place in 10 minutes? Yeah.
These things are awfully slow at killing people.
So slow. Painfully slow. And that's one huge thing. I know we talked about that at length.
I mean, they hype up the expectations of these things being like fucking lightning in the dark.
Right?
You know?
Like Hellraiser on steroids.
Yeah.
Nothing can stop them.
Like weeping angels.
Yeah.
From Doctor Who. But no.
They're more like the little fat gremlins from Doctor Who.
They're like Gollum.
Takes for fucking ever.
Jesus.
Oh, God. So, yeah, programmer lady fucked up and overloaded the circuit is what caused it. At this point, here's my note. Word for word. Jesus Christ. People seriously need to fucking research things before they put them in movies, make characters talk about them, or make them plot points. God damn it. Please, people, fucking read a book. I don't give a shit how low budget your film is. Make a fucking effort. This bugs me so much. Being an IT person for 30 plus years, I can safely say that just because you have a fucking laptop does not give you control to everything. All right? Not every system imaginable is connected to a single fucking server that you can lord over. This dumb bitch is in there blowing lights, changing temperatures. I'm surprised she didn't set the fucking sun.
I know.
On accident, right?
I know.
With this shitty little laptop. And, you know,
she's a monster.
I just want to jump back. First of all, if this bitch had half the power that they make her out to be, she would not be looking for a fucking card. She'd have a van full of level 5 cards. Yeah. If you are the sole creator of a system, nobody keeps you out.
Right?
Nobody. And anybody who argues that point is lying because they don't want to get busted for all their backdoors and illegal access that they have. Yeah. Oh, God damn, I'm just so sick of her and all this. But anyway, while I'm brewing over this, bam, it's a creature. And again, looks like now that we see the whole thing, it looks like a whole naked person with a flesh-colored gimp suit on. I put mask, but it's like a gimp suit. They got some rib things, like they're skinny, but it just didn't look good.
They're not good.
They're some of the worst creature effects that I've seen. And I noted that Attack of the Moon Zombies was way better, even though they're supposed to be cheesy and campy and cheap. They left no illusion, you know, that this was supposed to be anything more than what it was, but it also didn't leave you any question. Well, of course, they came from a plant. They look like plants. You know, I call them asparagus looking.
Right.
Right? What the fuck is up with these things?
They're so bland.
Bland. Physically, they don't look anything like they could be terrifying.
No.
Right? And that's the other thing. Their mouths. How could they?
They're so tiny.
Right? It's like, I can fully get on board with these things would do true damage to a Tootsie Roll. Mm-hmm. But anything bigger, I mean, it just was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, with all this, I missed something because now we're swimming in flashbacks and I didn't even care again, right? This movie is so slow paced and disjointed that my attention drifted.
Yeah.
And then I came back and I'm like, oh, well, what did I miss? And I don't care. And I probably think anyone who watches this wouldn't either. So anyway, zeroing in on this, Henry is on the ground, passed out, foaming from the mouth. Mm-hmm. So that's not a flashback. That's what's happening. He's having all these flashbacks. Ellie, because she's such a professional drug addict, is going to do her own injections.
Right.
She's a pro. And the intern with one hand can't do it because, again, lost my right hand and I'm a righty. How hard is it to stick a fucking needle, push a plunger with your left hand? I mean,
I don't know.
Unless it's, seized up.
I mean, he does do it later, but.
Well, because they all forgot that this wasn't supposed to happen.
Right.
They just yeah.
Anyway.
And meanwhile, with all this going on, nobody, not one person has made any effort to deal with Henry laying on the floor with fucking foam flowing out of his mouth.
Right.
It's just like, oh, well, all right, let's moving on. And then he has the flashback again with the fucked up priest trying to drown him. I mean, I wasn't sure what.
Right.
Because the guy wasn't even touching him. Anyway, bam, all of a sudden Henry's back. No foam, nothing. Not even a little bit of dribble. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I wonder if that was a pickup shot.
Right.
And they're doing the C-section. Henry is holding Ellie's hand. At this point, I thought, you're going to go. Are we going to see some super dexterous toes at work from Henry? You think my hand's steady. Wait until I get my foot out.
Or something else.
And then, bam, here we go, folks. It's cutting time.
And she isn't bleeding a whole lot.
No. an unconvincingly small amount of blood.
Yeah. And if I'd cared to really think it through, as I'm thinking it through now, and I'm like, well, they said that they died, right? She and Henry died. So maybe she's dead, but then they were revived, so then she should have blood.
Right. Yeah, a lot of this was through the whole thing, you can make a lot of, assumptions, and a lot of stuff is based on conjecture. And a plot really shouldn't be based on conjecture.
Well, your plot shouldn't look like Swiss cheese.
No.
So they stick her with something that makes the creature inside her, like, wake up. Like, they jazz this thing up. And it starts moving around a bunch. And then Marion catches up, because the priest has come back in this time. And Marion catches up, bangs on the door, and ends up letting one of the creatures in.
Yeah.
Like, fucking really? And this scene is supposed to have a lot of tension, because they're in the middle of doing the C-section. There's this creature, bubbling or whatever inside of her. And and then Marion's banging on the door, and someone opens the door. I think the priest does. And lets her in, and then one of the creatures come in, and it's like kind of jumping around the room, knocking the candles out and stuff. And the scene is supposed to have a lot of tension.
Right.
I know in my head there's supposed to be a lot going on here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there is a lot going on here, so I should feel the tension in this scene, right?
Right.
But it's all happening so slowly that it's just really dull.
Not just slowly. Well, I guess slowly, but so here, because of that slowness, for me, I was not engaged with what's supposed to be happening. I was engaged with what was happening, which is plot hole, plot hole, plot hole, plot hole. This thing comes storming into a room with light. Granted, it's candlelight, but there's like 200 fucking candles in here.
Yeah.
Right? These things are supposed to not enjoy light of any kind.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So this is the 100th fucking time these things have come into the light.
Yeah.
And I just, why would it have even chased her in here? Chased, programmer Lady Anne or Marion,
yeah, the whole reason they're in here is because there's light in here.
Why is the C-section taking so long if they're so good at what they're doing?
Right.
Right? Because apparently this was all laid out to be zip, zip, boom. Because C-sections are just like that. Done. Right?
So I think this is supposed to be the climax of the movie. I think.
I don't know.
Like the midpoint climax. But it's hard to tell because this movie doesn't have peaks and valleys. It's just flatline all the way through.
It's a bunch of random shit. The stakes don't get higher at any point in this fucking movie. It's just a flat line. It's a, ride across the Serengeti plains.
Yeah.
Nice and smooth. You don't need to worry about going up, going down, just.
Right. So they pull the creature out of Ellie and it dies. And then the one in the room also dies.
Right.
And Marion starts getting all bitchy about getting left behind for a minute.
Yeah.
And Stumpy tells Henry and Ellie that they died before they were brought back to life. And while they're talking, the priest magically finds a card that can get them out.
Yeah. I didn't understand that one, but hey.
Right. Was it in the room the whole time?
I don't know if it was with a bunch of shit that he grabbed or...
I don't know. But he doesn't tell anyone.
No.
He just keeps it to himself. So then the creature on the floor starts moving again, so it's not dead. And that's when Henry decides, I think I should tell people about my visions. And then they all decide to go because the creature's all over them again. And this is where we lose Stumpy.
Yeah.
Stumpy goes down.
He does. He goes down hard.
I bet he had a name too, and I heard it. I think I remember, but I just wanted to call him Stumpy.
I couldn't be bothered.
So they end up getting back to that main gate that looks out on the beach underground.
Yeah.
And the priest just opens the door.
Yeah.
Like, they just went there. They knew they couldn't get out. The only person who knew they could get out was the priest. Why the fuck did they go to the gate?
I know. All right. So, folks, we're in the final swing here. All right, here we go. So, he then reveals that programmer lady is the one who opened the cages. And then he unceremoniously breaks the card reader, proclaiming he, quote, knows what he needs to do now. And my thought was, fuck me. What is this?
So he has effectively locked the door open.
Yes. During all this, my thought was, why has no one punched this old fucker and just moved past him? All right. Because he's like maybe 107 pounds soaking wet with a burlap sack.
Yeah.
Okay. He's just a scrawny little thing. Would have taken, Ellie could have whipped his ass.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And Henry's, he's got to be what, like 6'2", maybe 230?
Yeah.
Could have fucking broke him. Why? I just don't know. So anyway, with the gate now open, the creatures, as we're told, will be allowed to run out into the wild and into the world. And I'm like, again, whatever.
Can't be bothered to care.
So outside, Ellie, with her cell phone, finally gets a signal, calls Hunter, who hangs up on her because she's dead.
Yeah.
What the fuck was she thinking?
Right.
And what kind of fucking writing was this? But anyway, she wanders down the beach. Henry has a flashback of her dying. I don't know what's going on with her, but she's still cringing in pain.
Yeah.
Like, I get she just had her side cut open, but she is so full of drugs right now. And, she's acting like this thing is trying to rip itself out of her, and it's gone at this point. Now she's going on about how she isn't a junkie. And I just wrote, I just can't. This is so fucking stupid.
It is.
I'm not a junkie. I'm like, bitch, you have track marks from your pinky to your armpit.
Uh-huh.
Many of them. You have open sore injection wounds, right?
You've been popping pills this whole fucking movie.
Yeah, because you can't shoot up with something, and it was your smack that was cooking in the beginning. So what the fuck was that all about? At this point, I realized this movie should have ended about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah. God
damn. So now we're back at the broken gate, and programmer lady has no clue how to fix the situation because, of course, her limitless fucking knowledge and, her omnipotence and omniscience all come to a halt because the plot calls for it.
Yeah.
And she has no idea what to do. So now we're going to blow up the entrance. Oh, no. We're going to blow up the whole building. And why are we going to blow up the whole building? Because we don't have explosives to blow up the entrance to keep the creatures inside. So we're going to
use the explosives that we don't have.
We're going to blow up the entire building, which isn't a building.
Right.
It's a massive underground complex.
Uh-huh.
And I'm thinking, they're talking about boilers and things. She's going all this different, and I'm thinking, how the fuck would a programmer know all of this shit? Is she MacGyver? Is she like, the jack of all trades? She's not just like an expert coder, an expert systems administrator, an expert systems engineer, or an analyst. There are so many titles she would need to have to do all the stuff that she does. It's ridiculous. But anyway.
Well, and okay. Put that aside. The unbelievability that she would know all of this stuff. What I was thinking while watching this, listening to this plan, I was like, this is the dumbest fucking plan I've ever heard.
Right. Should I share the plan?
Yeah.
So they're going to blow up the boiler to blow up the entire place.
That's right.
And she's going to sacrifice herself to get to the boiler. I'm thinking, is this supposed to be some sort of redemption? Fuck me, because you are just the worst character. And whoever wrote this really underestimated the unlikability of this hag character. So, and here's another thing. You know, a boiler can go boom. A boiler can't blow up a mountain. So.
Or a full building.
Depends how big the boiler is and how small the building is.
Yeah, well, we saw the size of this boiler.
Oh, yeah.
It was not a big boiler.
It was about twice the size of your grandmother's propane tank.
Yeah.
Which isn't huge.
No, it's a standard size propane tank.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So anyway, and here's the best part, right? So they're going to execute this plan. Fucking Ellie is back in a wheelchair, being pushed by Henry with a stick in her hands. Programmer lady has shit taped to her arms and stuff like some sort of fucking commando. Like you, and they're not like gun clips. It's just shit. You know, I don't know what.
It's just random shit.
Like fucking alcohol swabs and you know, whatever. So anyway, all this stupid bullshit. She comes to a room with a bunch of dead creatures. And I thought I'm thinking, I thought they couldn't die. That was the whole reason the thing came back in the chapel and took out Stumpy.
Well, in
right?
fairness, I think they were asleep. They were asleep, and she knew they were.
Well, I'm just what I see.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I don't fucking care what her thought process is. All right. And then I'm thinking, can I ask, why the fuck would you bring someone along in a wheelchair? If they need to be in a wheelchair,
just leave them outside.
Set her in the fucking sand, put her feet in the water, right? And go take care of shit.
Yeah.
If you need to wheel her through a massive underground complex, something's wrong with your plan. Right?
There's so many things wrong with their stupid plan.
And then that's while contemplating this bullshit, that's when it hit me. I figured out what these things reminded me of. These creatures looked like flesh-colored versions of Slee Stacks, which were from an old Saturday morning live-action show called Land of the Lost. Only the Slee Stacks were way cooler. So anyone who remembers that back in the days, late 70s, early 80s, Land of the Lost, the lizard-ish type weird people, Slee Stacks that go. That's all they did.
I just had to look them up because I didn't remember what they looked like.
But
yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So take the coolness away and then just make them flesh colored. That's what you got here.
Well, and make their mouths like 6 times smaller.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, you know, reminded me of, didn't look exactly like. I would rather get a room full of these fucking things than one Slee Stack. Okay, so, and here we are. Yep, the creatures aren't dead. They're just sleeping. So I'm thinking, how are these things so deadly? Right? They move like somebody who's on the verge of a diabetic coma.
Yeah.
They're not fast, right? They sleep a lot, apparently. They're afraid of light, but they charge into it. They've been fucking around, taking their sweet time, killing since the start of this. Yet they're supposed to be lightning quick and deadly. You know, after all, they're supposed to have wiped this out. We can't say it enough. They're supposed to have destroyed this facility in 10 fucking minutes.
Yeah.
They've had over an hour and a half to kill 5 fucking people. They have proven themselves to be absolutely fucking worthless.
Yeah. And then, so they're awake, and then Marion is surrounded by like 10 of them, and they're slowly creeping on her, and they're taking swipes at her like Valley Girls having a slap fight.
It reminded me of every 50s and 60s sexist films of women getting in confrontations, limp-wristed, cat slapping.
Yeah.
It was awful.
I'm like, wow, these things are just, yeah, they're so scary. Meanwhile, Henry and Ellie have gotten back into somehow the surgery room that Ellie was in originally.
Right.
And the creatures are following them, and Ellie's like hiding behind the original dead guy. And I wrote, no, not a lot of sets, I guess.
Right.
And one of the things starts to come in. And it first takes the dead guy's head and then sees Ellie, and it scratches her, and she touches it, and then it starts to steam to death and dissolve.
Well, she touches it with blood or scratch.
Right. Yeah.
Somehow.
It was on her hand. And I was like, sure, fine. At this point, I don't care. Sure. Okay. Where's Henry? I don't care. It's fine. I just want to get to the end. So, Marion gets the generator working, I guess. Not really clear how, really. At this point, I
don't want to get into it.
It was so hard to care. And the end, it's got to be soon, right? So Henry and Ellie figure out that Ellie's blood is still filled with the drugs that they injected in her when they did the C-section, and those drugs kill the things. So they're going to use that to help them.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Bring it.
And then Marion lets them know over the PA system that the boiler has power now. So she hasn't actually turned the boiler on. She's just routed the power to it somehow.
Don't invite me to speak.
The priest hears her. And then we see him in like elsewhere in the facility, and he hears her over the PA. And then we hear her on the PA screaming and then getting cut off. So Henry and Ellie get to the boiler to turn it all the way up, because this is their big plan. To blow up the building with these things in it. Which is surrounded by these things and the priest is turning off the heat. Because I don't know. And I'm like, why haven't these things attacked him yet?
Right.
He doesn't even have a light source. They're just like circling him.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, because it's not convenient for the story.
Yep.
So then the priest basically invites the things to kill him. You gonna do a thing?
I don't know. Maybe. Keep going.
Okay. So he invites the things to kill him while Henry and Ellie run away. So their master plan to blow up the building, nope, not gonna work. So at the entrance, Ellie undoes her stitches and just starts bleeding onto the floor. What?
Yeah.
And the sun is gonna go down. And so Ellie is going to just position herself at the entrance to let them eat her so they die?
They fizzle away into nothing. Yeah.
And this is an even dumber plan than the boiler bullshit. And Henry's like, I'm going to stay with you. Ooh. The end. That's the end of this movie.
Yeah. This sums up the movie. All right. I'm going to close that lid. That was rough. So, if you haven't figured out by now, we're not fans of this film. It doesn't even, it didn't even give me the belly feel of like an earnest effort. This was a tick-tock, check the box, bang, 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 and go. There was no plot to this fucking story whatsoever. This was the worst example of a horror movie in that it relied not just on tropes heavily, the worst kinds, the ones that are proven to be bad, if not boring.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, the basic like elevator pitch log of this movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not a terrible premise.
No.
It could have been really interesting.
Well, here's the thing. In a pitch, you pick the one point. The log line that you read, that would be the perfect elevator pitch.
Yeah.
Right? Because that sounds like, whoa, what's going to fucking go on? Let's have a conversation.
Right.
Give me the script. I want to read and find out what this setup is you just gave me.
Right. You set it up as a horror mystery, you know.
Right.
Whoa, what's going on here? Why is she pregnant? What killed everything? What's going on? But then every reveal was just a letdown and like kind of made me care less. And it wasn't necessarily the story itself.
Right.
It was just executed in a really uninspired, overdone, tropish, boring way.
Well, because there was nothing to grab onto. There was no story.
Yeah.
That's the problem. They were ideas, random ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the overlying thing is they found out. Well, first of all, I don't know how they found out. I mean, there's no reason for them to go scoop up fucking dead people, right? And this would have been discovered fucking hundreds of years before. Plenty of people have passed into the light for a few minutes and then come back, right?
Right.
Long before we had technology to help. Okay. So we would have been knowing about this for a long time. This would have happened in the like 1920s.
Right.
That's where I envision this being more at home in some shoddy sanitarium with, zero technology and just the worst kind of fucking medical practices and understanding and stuff.
Uh-huh.
This would be more at home there. So then we have these people who, when they die, the men come back, apparently have visions of everyone else's traumas, and the women come back with something stuck in their fucking womb. And then it grows. And it's evil.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes out, it's supposed to be this terrible monster. Well, so that wasn't the whole premise of this, though. So there's let's take that point A over here on this shelf. Okay. Point B, just waking up in this fucking place, having this thing happen,
mm-hmm.
running from these monsters. There's B. That's on this other shelf. So they should have right there decided, well, what's this going to be about? Is it going to be a horror movie where none of this backstory shit matters and we should just cut it? It's just a weird circumstance. We don't need to know why. We don't need to know how.
Right.
Okay, because we can make it super creepy. Because all that exposition is going to fucking slow everything down and kill it.
And that's exactly what it did.
Completely. Or they should have abandoned this as a horror and made it, like an action thriller. Because action thrillers are often as bloody, if not more, than most conventional horror films.
Right.
Unless the horror film is like a slasher fest, blood fest on purpose.
Right.
That's what they're going for.
Or even a sci-fi thriller.
Right. So what's going on with these things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be a bigger battle than, there's like 10 of them in the fucking building and we got to blow up not the building, this underground complex.
Yeah.
And we got to deal with it. We have a bigger thing. Bam. It's not just there's a few things in the building. Now that's actually like a after effect. The stakes have increased because this is now something that's happening, more and more.
Right.
This is a spiritual thing. This is a, cross-dimensional planar existence kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
But no, they took all of these great ideas.
Well, and then, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just saying, walked them out into the back alley, pop, pop, double tap, walked in and said, okay, let's go with what's left. What's left? Nothing. On it.
Right. Oh, well, and the third thing that they did toward the end was the whole, we have to save the world thing. Which,
that was, yeah.
Oh my gosh. There was just, this story needed a lot of work before it was ready for film. It needed a focus, and it didn't have a focus.
It didn't. Had no focus. Well, it didn't even have a story. I mean, that's just it. Like I said, it's just random ideas. And we've seen a lot of movies like this. Not just indie films. We've seen art house films from renowned directors with huge budgets, 6-figure fucking budgets at least. And it's like, what the hell? Was it the pizza you ate that night? Was it like are you documenting a hallucinogenic trip that you had?
Right.
Because none of this shit makes sense. What was the fucking point of all this?
Yeah.
And I guess before I forget about it, the one thing I want to jump out is we need to put an end to jump scares. We do. They're old, they're boring, they're tiring, they're not creative. And I think at this point, they're embarrassing.
It's cheap.
It is. And I know that people are out there like, oh yeah, but if we make Paranormal 75, people will go see it. Well, you know what? Probably. But it's getting smaller and smaller.
Is this something you're going to be proud of making?
Exactly. It's less and less and less money, right? Because the audience is getting smaller and smaller. So I don't think there will be a Paranormal 75, it's just enough. It's infantile at this point. It had its moment.
It's the toilet humor of horror.
It is. Now, I'm going to say a jump scare in conjunction with some other things, right, can be done well.
Yeah.
But as having it as the point of the scene, you have just shit the bed. Bam. You've ruined it.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not cool like this, like the thing running across. You knew it was fucking coming. I can't think of a movie in the last 10 years that I've been like, when they do a jump scare. I'm actually angry. Because it's like, you just took this whole section here of the film. You wasted all this fucking time, my time, your time, the actor's time, for a jump scare that didn't land, because they don't land. And you could have done something else.
Right.
It could have been something good, something better.
Yeah.
And
there is a difference between a jump scare, like a cheap jump scare, and a scare that is, it makes you jump, but that's not really the point of it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And a good example is in Redwood, when Burlap is in the background,
mm-hmm.
and you don't actually even see him until he moves.
Right.
He's been there the whole time.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, Jesus.
Well, it's something that's unexpected in the situation, right? So here's what I call a jump scare. Deliberately make everything quiet. Like the scene with her banging on the doors. She was really
mm-hmm.
muted, right? And then you just have like super soft music. And then you have an appearance, a motion, and like a loud effect.
Yeah.
Kind of like that. That'll register. They're just shit. Because think of like Halloween. A lot of jump scares, not because it was super quiet, nothing was happening, and he jumped out, boo. Right? It was a tension. There's a difference between jump scare and tension scares.
Right.
Where something builds up. Either like I said, you know something's coming. Right? Yeah. The intent is not to catch you off guard. The intent is to make you go.
Right.
And a lot of times they do the false scare. Right? It builds up and then it's nothing. And then sometimes geniusly, they'll follow that up with, oh, you were right the first time, friend. Mm-hmm. You let your guard down and here he comes. Same with Burlap. It's just part of the background. You don't notice him because he blends in. But then when he moves, you're like, but see, then we're out.
Well, and in that scene particularly, he doesn't come right at the person who's there. He moves and he just leaves the scene.
Right, but and that it makes it super creepy.
It creates tension.
It does, and also fills you in on he's not just running around, blindly doing shit.
Right.
The guy's on top of his game.
He knows what's going on.
Absolutely. These people are running around thinking that they got their shit going. Nope, he's right there on you, man.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the jump scare, if we want to call them jump scares. I still maintain the best part of that movie for me that made me go fucking hell was when he just started running at the guy.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, that was a tension scare too.
Yeah. Well, because they're facing off and stuff, but then he's just like, fuck it, and starts sprinting. And I was just so caught up in the holy fuck me moment.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, nothing like that. Nothing like that happened in this movie. A lot of lost opportunities. The stories, I think, those 2 points, A and B, they should have picked and ran with one, and never include C, save the world bullshit.
It's just just fucking pick something and run with it.
Right. Well, I'm going to use that in conjunction with Programmer Lady, my biggest pet peeve of this
Okay.
and so many other films. Well, here's the thing. The God aspect, right? Quit giving people fucking God powers
Right.
in things. Okay. Cause here's the thing. If in fact she was all over the shit like they had her in the movie, okay, none of this would have went down. None of it. And people have to stop. That's why, again, I'm going to say it. I implore you, be a fucking grown up and learn a little bit about the shit you're going to shoot or write about. Okay. I'm just going to go out and say it. If you're writing like this, just about things you know nothing about, this is the best you're going to do. If you don't fucking give it up, you are not going to make it anywhere big. And you might think, oh, well, I can just keep selling my shit to Gravitas then. No. This is the best that you're going to do, meaning you might get a sale, maybe two. Now, if you get hired by them, which they don't have a lot of, staff writers, this is what you want to do, pointless shit, then I guess power to you, but I think most creators want to like create and put their name on it.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, I wrote that bitch. Yeah.
Well,
and not have people go, oh.
if you're doing this for a paycheck, then you're doing it for the wrong reasons. If you're doing it because you want to make something that you're proud of,
mm-hmm.
then you're doing it for the right reasons.
I imagine these people, we've had people reach out to us, like on Twitter and stuff, just little quick things, DMs, and just in general, not to us, but like to the world. And I want to put this on record too. The question has come up a lot, especially in these times, right? Because people are sitting around thinking shit. It's really all a lot of people have to do these days. Question is, how many submissions / rejections, or how many years should I do this before I just give up? Right? No, it's been asked in that, not verbatim, but basically, how long should I plug at this before I just, decide that's not going to happen? And I answered a couple people, but I just stopped because one, I don't have the time. Two, God, it's been said publicly. If you're even asking that question, you're in the wrong business.
If you're asking that question, then stop now.
Yep. Stop now. You cannot put a timer on this. You cannot put a deadline on this. You cannot put expectations on this. You cannot expect anything to happen to any degree in any time frame.
This industry doesn't owe you anything for time put in.
No. Nope. Nobody cares how many scripts you've written. Nobody cares how many years you've been writing scripts, how many short films you've made, how many indie features you've made. Nobody cares in the big upper echelon, right? They're just looking for that one script that they want to make.
Mm-hmm.
And your involvement will vary in that process. So if you're going to think, well, I'll give it 3 years and then I'm out, just don't waste your 3 years. Honestly, don't. Yeah. Because it's I don't even know what the odds are. 1 in 1 billion? With all the scripts and, you put everything together, right place, right time, right moment, right pitch, right market, right moment, all that you're going to be like, oh yeah, a year ago I started out and bam, I got a script optioned. Okay. Well, optioned is good, but it's still not made. They can still shit on it and sit on it. So anyway, you get your movie made. Boom. All right. Doesn't mean you're going to be like to the next one. It's super, super high odds against that happening. There's so many people, and I know there are places, even Stage 32 is starting to do it. They're really starting to tout like their quote successes. Someone got options, someone got this, someone got that. Okay, so that's someone out of thousands for that one instance.
Well, yeah. I mean, they do it to, give hope to the people who are still struggling through.
But it's, I'm going to be honest, it's starting to irritate me a little getting that, because then when you follow up on all this stuff, right? almost none of that shit goes anywhere.
Right.
Which is kind of a good example of how fucking rough this business is. You can get someone say, I want to be your agent. Then you get someone who calls up and says, I want to be your manager. And then someone says, you know what? I want to read your script and I want to look at putting this together. None of that means anything because 3 years later, all of those people could still be talking about it and nothing's happened.
Yeah.
And then they all decide, fuck it. And it's dead.
Well, yeah. I mean, we've been repped for how many years? And
yeah. And we've had, I don't know how many ongoing conversations and everything. And, you know, it happens.
Yeah.
It happens. And it's frustrating. It's fun while it's happening. It's exciting.
Yeah.
You know, but ultimately you realize, you know, I'm not going to count on anything. It's a very,
no,
you know, you got to take a very business approach to it and, you know, find the hill you're going to die on. What's the battle you're going to bring up, which can make or break a deal. Or just, you know, you eventually too start to get like signals when you're talking to people like, you know what, I'm not going to put a lot of time into this relationship because I get the general sense this person's kind of a fuckabout, you know, and they're hard to learn lessons because you learn them when they happen to you.
Yeah.
You start to identify. But that's what happens, you know. Anyway.
I think that, you know, the main lesson from this movie to take forward is if you find yourself doing something wherein you're ticking boxes just for the sake of ticking boxes, right? You need to stop and step back and reevaluate what you're doing. And if that means chucking all your principal photography and rewriting and reshooting, I mean, whatever stage you're in, I mean, maybe that's what you got to do.
I want to say this though. Okay. Just there is a career to be had doing these kinds of films, right? But I would use The Asylum more as an example for that.
Sure.
Because we've talked about that, right? They have a formula. It's fucking ridiculous. But
it works for them.
It's lucrative for them. Their movies are consistent in that formula, the ridiculousness, the plot holes. I mean, that's why you watch them. You look for them, you're like, there it is. Yeah.
It's like a trademark.
Yeah. And Gravitas films are like all over the fucking place.
There are some that we've seen that have been really, really good.
Yeah.
And then some that we've seen that have been at the level of like someone walking around the woods with a, you know, 90s video camera. That quality.
Yeah. Well, some of those had better stories than this.
That's true.
Which had cinema quality.
Yeah.
Right. So I guess here's the thing. If I'm just going to say, if this is what you want to do, you just want to write kind of schlocky, you know, Sharknado type films, hook up with The Asylum. Right. There are movies, everyone picks them apart, but we have fun doing it.
Yeah.
You know, look how Sharknado blasted through the stratosphere. Right. And nobody's ever going to say, that's a good movie, top to bottom, you know, because they realized how ridiculous it was. Like I said, way back when we were talking about it in Sharknado 2, they're like, so we're going to do more of the stupid shit.
Yeah.
Because that's what people love. And God, were they right. Because 3, boom, for every chapter exponentially increased the ridiculousness of the plot and the acting and and everything. And we ate it up. We just fucking ate it up. Yeah. There's nothing about Blood Hunters that I can't even like have fun. Like if we did a viewing of this, I couldn't even pick it apart with a group of people and fun. I feel like the energy just talking about it.
I've certainly gone down in energy.
Well, it's way more energy than it deserves for what it delivered.
That's fair.
You know, it wasn't even so bad to make me righteously angry. It was dull.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to put it.
Wow.
It's like the Andy Bernard
Oh,
of horror films.
don't be so mean to Andy Bernard. He had his qualities.
Not many. And what he did have count for this. All right. So, we're at the end of this movie. Finally, this is how I felt. Yes.
Ooh.
It's done.
It is done.
We didn't like it. People out there do like it. I know that's how it got recommended to us. I'm sorry, but it was there wasn't enough. They didn't have that formula. There just wasn't enough to get me to look past, this is boring. I don't know what's going on. They keep making shit up.
Well, it wasn't even necessarily that there wasn't a formula. It was just that there wasn't a focus of this movie. It was disjointed. It was not well put together.
The death scenes were terrible. Not a lot of blood.
Yeah.
Everything was effect. It was already there. It was part of the scene, right? Somebody went through with their ketchup bottle, got the fake blood on the walls. There wasn't enough gore. There wasn't enough tension, enough horror, even funnily.
Right.
Right. You know, these creatures were the worst creation ever.
It wasn't scary. You know, I want to be scared when I watch horror movies. That's why I watch horror movies, because I mean, not like the schlocky, you know, goofy ones.
Right.
But I watch horror movies because I want that fear adrenaline. Mm-hmm. Right. I want them to freak me out.
Right. Or for me, if they're not going to do that, creep me out. Mm-hmm. Right. At a freak out level. Mm-hmm. And with these monsters, there was no hope. Oh my God, they were the worst.
They were not creepy. This was not scary. It wasn't a good horror. I mean,
you could have sat and listened from beginning to end, the Count of Monte Cristo in this fucking facility, and those goddamn things still wouldn't have had time to kill you. And see, they didn't deliver on the buildup, you know. I guess it's like saying, you know, this guy is as strong as Hercules, and then you got a guy who can't even like lift his pants without help. Mm-hmm. Okay. Unless you're doing it comically, that's just really bad writing. Don't promise something you don't deliver in the character.
And that happened a lot in this movie.
All throughout.
Promising things that were not delivered.
Entered the cocoon phase.
Well, I mean, that and many other things, you know.
I know.
They did this all in 10 minutes. Well, that's weird. Doesn't look like they could do it in 10 minutes. I
kind of think everybody freaked out and killed one another in 10 minutes.
Maybe.
Thinking it was these things.
Yeah.
And then when lights came on, these things were like, ugh. I don't know.
Anyway. With that. If you want to check out our other episodes, check out where else you can watch our episodes or listen to our episodes. Find links to everything that we have. Yep. Go to our website. It is www.lordsofmisruleproductions.com.
Yes. Also, we said it at the beginning, I'm going to say it again. Check out the Disc Dump podcast.
Absolutely.
And listen to us talking with Miles Trout about Gentleman Broncos.
Yeah. Listen to his other episodes too. He's listen to his really other cool episodes.
He's got different people on at different times and does different things. He doesn't do the breakdown like we do. They just talk about the movie and kind of just like whatever else, which is what we did with him. And it was fun.
It was fun.
Starting out. So we're just going to kind of like give him a push up. I enjoyed listening to him. You know, I have limited time to listen to podcasts, but him I do catch. And, you know, that's saying something because I can barely catch my Mark Maron.
Well,
I'm only like 900 episodes behind.
I know.
Literally. I catch little bits of this one, that one. On our website are the links to everything, social media, our subscription for the platforms that we're on. Mm-hmm. Also to our Patreon page. Please, I'm done even giving out the address. Go to our website and click on the Patreon link and check out to become a patron. It's the best way to find us. See what we've got going. Become a B-sider, B-movie lover, and
get cool stuff.
Get some cool stuff. Yeah. The more we get, the more it builds up. We hit our goals. Bam, swag. Guest appearances, movie voting, helping decide what we're going to take a look at and talk about that you think might have good lessons.
Absolutely.
If you are a filmmaker, a writer, director, actor, producer, composer,
and you
gaffer,
made something,
right? Electrician. I don't care, man.
Yeah.
You want to talk about something you made? Send us an email. Those links are on the website too.
That's right. Woo!
Yeah. Because we love talking to people.
We've
had some great stuff. Great interviews.
Oh my gosh.
God, and I can't wait for more coming.
I'm super excited.
So we would love to screen something that you have done that may have been like under the radar for years. And that's fine because we're not.
It doesn't have to be new.
Right. Redwood Massacre.
No, that was done in 2011?
2014.
2011,
you're thinking of Attack of the Herbals. Yeah. Shit falls under the radar because we don't sit all day scanning for movies and watching films, right? We have lives, we have jobs, we have a kid, we got stuff to do. We can only catch so much. Plus we have shit that we like watching that's, not part of this. Gotta make time for that. And, that's right. We write.
Yeah, we write. We do that. And we play D&D.
Yep.
And we like to do a lot of things. We lead busy lives. We can't keep on top of everything.
No, so we do these movies when we can. We're going on our, decades of what we've seen in the past, and we try to find newer stuff that, again, slips under the radar. So, reach out to us and say, hey, man, I did this short. It's been on YouTube or it's been whatever, or I tried doing this and it fucking tanked. Send us a thing.
Mm-hmm.
We'll take a look at it. Maybe we'll talk to you, see what you want to do. If you got something else coming. So if it's a project coming up, project you've done, or you just want to say, hey, you know what? I like talking about this stuff. Let's talk about some stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Because this is all about inspiring one another.
Yes.
And yes, when we shit on a movie, it doesn't sound inspiring. But these are lessons that, they're there that say, okay, so here are the don'ts.
Well, I mean, that is part of the point of this podcast, right? Is that, even movies that are not good have things that you can learn from them.
Everything has a lesson. Not everything is worth seeing. I mean, that's just a fact. And we've seen some movies that are like, this is no good for anybody. None. But there are lessons to get from it. Yeah. Right? So we might even save you some angst. Listen to us go on about it and then you don't have to witness it. We got some stuff coming up. So keep coming back. When you hit these platforms, people, rate.
And review. Yes.
Rating is more important. Review would be sweet. Yeah. Okay. Because we all know how it goes. Got to do all that. And then we can get out to more people. People can find us more easily. Mm-hmm. And it shows a little bit of love.
It does.
All that. Don't have any big announcements for anything coming up. Not that we do a lot, but sometimes I can't help myself.
Yeah.
But there aren't any. So, Blood Hunters. Give it a look if you want.
Yeah, it is on Amazon Prime.
Yep, on Prime. Mm-hmm. And, see what not to do and what to avoid. And
I mean, you can even, and here's something that we will do occasionally with movies that we, put on, and then we realize really quickly, oh, this isn't that great. We kind of fast forward through, the movie. We kind of we speed watch it, basically. Yeah. Fast forward a little bit, let it play for a minute or two. Fast forward a little bit, let it play for a minute or two. You get the gist. Yeah.
Now we don't do that with movies we do for the episode for sure.
Oh no.
And we don't do that often, but there are some that's and you can see on the bottom as you're flipping through, right? It's like, oh man, this is okay. So I've just gone 25 minutes and it's the same fucking scene. So we're doing the right thing. You know? Yeah. There's some that are just so bad. That's like, yeah, let's cut a few minutes out. And funnily enough, I don't feel like we missed anything.
Yeah. No.
You know, like Manos.
Well, but to be fair, we've seen Manos.
Well, we watched the second one, the sequel.
Yeah, the sequel.
There's more.
We didn't fast forward through that, though.
No, we didn't.
We could have.
We should have.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we wouldn't miss anything. All right. Okay, B-siders. That's going to do it for this week.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. Keep creating.
Yes.
Right? Keep at it. Don't. This shit's going on forever. It's not going to end soon.
Don't let it stop you.
Keep pushing.
Yeah.
Right? Keep pushing.
Don't let it win.
And keep watching.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't want to take a break and absorb what others have made.
And learn lessons.
Yeah.
You know.
All right. So with that,
I'm Danny.
I'm Jim.
And we will catch you next week
on Bravo for the B-side. And we are out of here.
Bye.
Bye.